Now your forecast first.
Sponsored by ESL Federal Credit Union.
Admittedly, this has not been the prettiest Thanksgiving across the Rochester area, but it has been mild. We are still at 51 degrees at this hour. Some of that patchy drizzle is going to linger through the night, through the day tomorrow. Hang tight, though. We have a brighter weekend ahead.
Also ahead, a Rochester resident's home is destroyed after a fire on Post Avenue. Plus, the Supreme Court blocking Governor Cuomo's decision to limit capacity at houses of worship.
From the team you can trust, this is News 8 at 5.
Good evening and happy Thanksgiving. The Supreme Court has ruled against Governor Cuomo's decision to limit capacity at houses of worship in certain microcluster areas across New York. The High Court decided on the matter by a vote of 5-4 Wednesday evening. For example, previously in Monroe County's orange zone, gatherings were limited to 33%. Today, Governor Cuomo says this decision, while not final yet, is a signal that this is a, quote, different court.
I think, Dave, the basic point is, why does the court rule on an issue that is moot unless, which they had just decided several months before in other cases, because there were other cases that presented the same argument. Why rule on a case that is moot and come up with a different decision than you did several months ago on the same issue? You have a different court. And I think that was the statement that the court was making.
The Supreme Court's ruling was one of the talking points during religious services today in our area. News 8's Josh Navarro spoke with churchgoers about the ruling.
Parishioners at the Church of Blessed Sacrament in Rochester learned about the Supreme Court's decision to block the state's strict church limitations in areas designated COVID-19 hotspots during this morning's Thanksgiving Mass.
We go to church, we social distance, we wear masks. There's a protocol that nobody's allowed into church without. So we shouldn't be penalized because he wants to close everything down.
I'm very happy with the decision. I think limiting it to 25 is a little overboard. So I'm happy. We've been doing great. There's been no outbreaks at all at Mass because we are limited as it is.
While some parishioners praise the Supreme Court ruling, there were others who are still remaining cautious.
Well, so many new cases, and all of a sudden our state is one of the higher. And I'm 74. I don't want to be on the list of the deceased. So, no, I'm not taking any chances.
I hate to see it limited, but, there has to be a limit to the number of people. 25 might be a little too small.
Dr. Marlo Washington, pastor at Seneca Methodist Church in Rochester, says the governor's restrictions were putting an infringement on religion.
I think the government is getting a little bit too involved in people's lives and definitely is crossing into religious freedom.
The ruling comes after Monroe County's increase in COVID-19 hospitalizations are among the highest in New York. How are you guys going to move forward of still having services, still providing that type of need for the community while keeping safe?
I was part of the governor's interfaith council involving COVID-19. And one of the things that we are doing and we suggested is to begin to have the hybrid services. So while we are having a certain set amount of number in the physical building, we live stream the rest of the service or the same service through the internet. That works.
Ultimately, Reverend Washington says it'll be up to each house of worship whether or not they make changes after this new ruling or keep their current protocols in place. In Rochester, I'm Josh Navarro, News 8.
Thank you, Josh. The court's action yesterday could push New York to reevaluate its restrictions on houses of worship in areas designated virus hotspots. There are currently several state areas in the state which are designated orange zones, including parts of Monroe County, but no red zones, according to data from the state. Now a look at the latest COVID-19 numbers from Monroe County. 329 new cases confirmed at the last update. That brings the 7-day rolling average to 326. No new deaths were reported, and the total number of deaths is at 317. And the latest numbers across New York State, a 3.18% positivity rate has been reported. There were 67 new deaths, and more than 3,000 people are currently in the hospital across the state, with more than 600 in the ICU. Some are concerned that this Thanksgiving holiday will lead to an even higher spike in coronavirus infections as families gathered with loved ones despite CDC recommendations. Wednesday, the U.S. reported more than 2,200 new COVID deaths. That's the highest toll since early May. Nearly 90,000 COVID patients are currently hospitalized in the U.S. Elise Preston reports from New York, where the annual Thanksgiving Day parade went on with a few changes.
A record number of COVID-19 patients are spending this Thanksgiving in hospitals across the nation. Other coronavirus patients are recovering at home, including truck driver Anil Gallmarker of Kansas, who is now breathing through a tracheotomy tube. He says his main concern when he got sick was his family.
I mean, the last thing I thought, and I prayed, scared that I had infected my wife and my kids and my mom.
In Minnesota, as ICU beds near capacity, the state has set up a command center to coordinate patients with hospital care.
Patient placement is always a little bit like a game of Tetris. You've got to find that right bed in the right space at the right time.
Despite calls to stay home this Thanksgiving to limit the spread of the virus, the TSA says it screened more than 1 million travelers at checkpoints nationwide Wednesday. That's the most since mid-March. Health experts say those who choose to have big Thanksgiving meals should still take precautions.
Focus the meal in short periods. So you're eating the meal, and then the rest of the time where you're talking and socializing, your social distance and wearing a mask is critical.
The annual Thanksgiving Day parade here in New York City is one tradition that thankfully has not been canceled because of the virus. But it is much different this year. There's a shorter route, and there's only a handful of onlookers instead of the usual crowds.
We found one couple who dressed up to watch the parade.
I guess if you can make anyone smile during this time, you're doing your job, you know?
Another change, fewer handlers escorting the giant balloons. They still provided an uplifting sight during these difficult times. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
And the Broadway performances were pre-recorded for the parade. Organizers we spoke to for some Thanksgiving giveaways say the process looks smaller this year. They tell us the amount of food is the same, but every feast is pre-packaged and to go to accommodate the pandemic. Erica Cost on the scene of where a giveaway happened earlier. Erica, you saw a few of these events, right?
Yes, Kayla, one behind me here in Rochester and one in Canandaigua for seniors. One thing in common with these giveaways, they didn't attract any big groups of people or lines. They were coordinated so that people could come quickly, grab their food, and be on their way. Beth Sumner is the marketing manager at Abundance Food Co-op, a grocery store where a food and winter wear giveaway took place. She said 2 months of planning went into this.
This whole month we've been collecting donations at our register and online. We got 6 turkeys altogether. We are stacked out there.
But not just food.
People in the neighborhood have come by and dropped off donations of jackets, scarves, hats, mittens.
Another small-scale pre-packaged giveaway over in Canandaigua happened for seniors in this apartment complex, thanks to Salvation Army. The manager at the complex says normally there would be a feast.
Normally we would have a Thanksgiving dinner catered here for them, but we weren't able to do that this year and have it be safe for them. COVID has been really difficult for them. They are socially isolated from their families and even from the neighborhood within this building.
Janet Miller is one of those residents who won't be celebrating with a family.
There's a nice dinner we got.
But she's smiling because she says she's thankful to have a caring community around her.
I got friends here, you know. They're my family.
And the manager of the home says the age group in this particular complex isn't used to technology resources like Zoom and FaceTime, but rather they're finding other creative ways to connect, like sliding notes under each other's doors. In Rochester, Erica Cost, News 8.
Erica, thank you. As for the Abundance Food Co-op, organizers say they were able to raise $2,000 in donations for all the food they gave away today. A Rochester resident no longer has a home after a Thanksgiving Day fire. It happened on Post Avenue around noon today. Fire crews say the fire started on the 2nd floor and no one was home at the time. Firefighters say the home isn't salvageable and stress the importance of having working smoke detectors in the home.
Especially this time of year when things are closed up, it holds everything inside. It's, you know, the most important thing. And if you don't have one, have to call the fire department. We'll come bring you a smoke detector.
The Red Cross is assisting one adult who was displaced. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. Still coming up on News 8 at 5, details on a rollover crash this morning in downtown Rochester. And as we head to break, check out this shot from our live Sky Eye. Eric's full forecast coming up in a bit.
You're watching News 8, the team you can trust. Adam Chodak, Maureen McGuire, Chief Meteorologist Eric Sneidel. You're watching News 8 at 5.
When you have zero worries and zero stress, there are zero reasons not to get into a Volkswagen. Click, call, or come by today. Visit our Volkswagen Sign Then Drive event and lease the 2020 Jetta S today with 0 down, 0 deposit, 0 first month's payment, and 0 due at signing.
If an illness or injury prevents you from working, disability benefits can be a lifesaver, but approval rates are lower than ever. Over 50% of people who appear before a judge are denied. So often I've seen people treated unfairly by the system with tragic consequences. Call the law offices of Kenneth Hiller. We have a team of lawyers that really care and won't take no for an answer from the Social Security Administration. We'll handle all the paperwork and fight for the benefits you deserve.
Style, technology, and fuel efficiency all come together in a new Vision Hyundai Sonata Hybrid Blue. Drive one for $249 a month with 0 down or pay 0 interest. Vision Hyundai,
yeah! In 1912, Leon L. Bean sold his first batch of 100 boots, 90 of them leaked. He refunded every pair and then perfected them. Because if it wasn't comfortable, he didn't want people to have it. This holiday season, we want to help you give the warmest, coziest gifts on earth and make you feel more comfortable than you have in a long, long time.
Get 15% off through December 1st at LL Bean.
Make the vision decision. Sentra is the best-selling Nissan model ever. Now lease a new Vision Nissan Sentra for $229 a month with 0 down. Make the vision decision. The smart decision.
Get ready to do a double take during the Lazy Boy 2 Great Chairs, 1 Low Price event at Lynch Furniture. Take relaxation to new heights and save big on 2 Lazy Boy recliners starting from just $6.99. Mix and match from our great selection of genuine Lazy Boy recliners built for quality and comfort, or upgrade to a pair of power recliners and relax at the touch of a button. The Lazy Boy 2 Great Chairs, 1 Low Price event at Lynch Furniture in downtown Canandaigua.
There are 0 reasons not to get into a Volkswagen, especially now that you can start shopping from home. Click, call, or come by today. Visit our Volkswagen Sign Then Drive event and lease the 2020 Tiguan S4 Motion today with 0 down, 0 deposit, 0 first month's payment, and 0 due at signing.
You'll find extra holiday cash and special gifts at the Jorian Coin Exchange.
You're watching News 8.
The Rochester Police Department is investigating a 2-car crash that happened early this morning in downtown Rochester. Police responded to the intersection of East Main Street and North Clinton Avenue. 1 car ran a red light, causing it to collide with another and roll on its side. Officials say the occupants of both cars were taken to area hospitals as a precautionary measure. No injuries were reported. RPD also responding to the area of Bernard Street and Hudson Avenue this morning for reports of a stabbing. When they arrived, they found a 16-year-old man stabbed in the upper torso. The victim was taken to Strong Hospital, where he was treated with non-life-threatening injuries. The investigation is still ongoing. Rochester police say they've arrested the person they say is responsible for a shooting in the city last night. Officers responded to Henyon Street just before 10 p.m. They found a 36-year-old man with a gunshot wound. Officers arrested a man who they say tried to flee the area. 24-year-old Bryce Jones is charged with assault, reckless endangerment, and criminal possession of a weapon. The victim's injuries are not life-threatening. News 8 is your local election headquarters. President Trump and President-elect Biden are both spending Thanksgiving at home with family. Natalie Brand has more details from the White House.
President Trump golfed Thanksgiving morning before a scheduled video call to troops this evening, while former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn tweeted his thanks for Wednesday's presidential pardon. Flynn admitted to lying to the FBI about his conversations with Russians during the last presidential transition. He pleaded guilty, but then tried to rescind the deal. The president insists that Flynn was the victim of a political prosecution.
What they've done to General Flynn and to other people is a disgrace. It's a disgrace.
President Trump sent a happy Thanksgiving tweet Thursday morning, retweeting news of the Supreme Court's decision issued late Wednesday, blocking COVID restrictions on houses of worship in New York. In a 5-4 ruling, with President Trump's latest appointee, Justice Amy Coney Barrett, now on the bench, the High Court ruled in favor of religious groups, saying the state's coronavirus restrictions, effectively barring many from attending religious services, strike at the very heart of the First Amendment's guarantee of religious liberty.
Thanksgiving has always been a special time for the Biden family.
President-elect Joe Biden released a Thanksgiving message on social media Thursday morning, urging Americans not to gather in large groups.
It's a personal sacrifice that each of our families can make and should make to save somebody else's life.
Mr. Biden spent Thanksgiving at his beach house in Delaware. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, the White House.
The president-elect said he would spend Thanksgiving with his wife, daughter, and son-in-law. Now, Eric, last time I checked, it was looking pretty rainy out there. What's the weather looking like?
Yeah, we've had this off and on drizzle through the course of most of Thanksgiving. That element of the forecast not going anywhere tonight. I think we get another serving of this tomorrow, but oh, the weekend looks so much better. We'll talk more about that Saturday, Sunday coming up.
News 8, sponsored by Celino Law.
Tonight on News Nation, changes coming to Black Friday shopping, how small businesses are working to keep sales up and customers safe. Plus,
I've damaged my brain. My brain moved over 8 millimeters.
How a man pronounced brain dead is now able to spend Thanksgiving with his family. That's tonight, starting at 8/7 Central on WGN America.
From the sideline views to the interviews, get the most complete coverage from the News 8 sports team. The Bills Report, sponsored by MVP Healthcare.
Holidays glow bright and all your dreams take flight. Visit your local Mercedes-Benz dealer today for exceptional lease and financing offers at the Mercedes-Benz Winter Event.
There's a spot.
Not feeling it.
What's wrong with that spot?
Too far. I know a better garage.
Sure you do.
I do.
What about here?
Crooked parking. Lighting's weird.
We're never going to park, are we?
Probably not.
Commit to the drive with intelligent all-wheel drive. Get a low $189 per month lease or get 0% financing for 72 months on the 2020 Altima.
We love our new home. There's so much space.
We have a guest room now.
But we have ants.
You're slouching again, Ted. Expired. Expired. Expired.
Thanks, Aunt Bonnie.
It's a lot of house. I hope you can keep it clean.
At least Geico makes bundling our home and car insurance easy.
Which helps us save a lot of money.
Oh, Teddy, did you get my friend request?
I'll have to check.
Aunt Joni's here.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
It's the season to save big at the Hyundai Thanksgiving sales event. Get great deals like 0% financing for 72 months on select vehicles. Plus, enjoy the peace of mind that comes with America's best warranty and complimentary maintenance. Can't wait to satisfy your holiday cravings? Then hurry into the Hyundai Thanksgiving sales event now and feast on the savings.
Now lease a 2020 Hyundai Elantra for $119 a month or get up to $3,500 total savings. Hurry in.
News 8, sponsored by Orville's.
From from the weather team you can trust. Here's Chief Meteorologist Eric Sneidel.
You know, on the surface, looking at this almanac, I can make this really attractive sounding. 55 degrees, your high today in Rochester. This was the warmest Thanksgiving we have had in 5 years since the 61 back in 2015. But on the other side of the equation, we've had a lot of just this yucky drizzle. It hasn't amounted to a whole lot, but it has made the day cloudy. It would have been nice to get some breaks of sunshine in there. We will wait a few more days. I think that opportunity will present itself as we go into the weekend. Current temps right now, not 55, but still not bad. It's now completely pitch black dark outside, and you're still at 51 degrees. 52 in Sodus, 53 Penn Yan. We peak at about 54 for our friends watching us in Dansville. As we take this through the rest of the evening, if you're going to do a little late dinner or coming back for a second serving here, I think we'll eventually trickle into the upper 40s, but it's about what you've got right now. Things are not going to look or feel particularly different through most of the night and truthfully through most of the day tomorrow either. I think we're going to do this again. The radar situation now, all of this is very light rain. These are showers that would actually be enough to make the roadways wet or have to put the windshield wipers on. Everything else, though, I don't want you to look at this in Monroe County and think we're bone dry. We're not. This is going to be a case where the drizzle will be there, but it's so shallow the radar beam from Buffalo is not going to be able to see it, but we know it is there, which means when you see green actually showing up here, you can bet in that particular case those are indeed some heavier raindrops that are making it to the ground. Big storm system that gave us all that rain yesterday, there it goes. It's pulling northeast toward Maine, but in its wake, we're just left with this very shallow moisture, and that's going to mean we do this again, I fear, for one more day. So we'll call it a drizzle of gravy for the rest of the evening and tonight. Rain chances overall, not a huge number, 30%. That's about it. Back for seconds tomorrow. Friday is about the same as today. Highs near 50. It's a little cooler, but close, with more of that drizzle continuing, but we'll gobble up some of that sunshine into the weekend. Clouds hold tight early Saturday. By the afternoon, the sun comes out, and I envision a good amount of sunshine as we go into the day on Sunday. Future View agrees with this overall forecast. You know, none of this is overwhelming. There's no widespread rain. No soaker of a Friday, but you just got that splotchy drizzle that will just continue to make its presence known. Might even be a snowflake or two in there early Saturday morning as temperatures drop into the middle and upper 30s. But again, by the afternoon on Saturday, get it on out of here. Once those skies clear out, that will set us up for a nice, clear, and quiet Sunday. And that will be the last time you hear me use the words quiet as we go into next week. Big, sprawling area of low pressure is going to head in our general direction by Monday of next week. These are the kind of storms that can cause problems around here if the track is just right or just wrong. We think now in this particular case, we're going to be on the warmer side of this, at least on Monday. We expect a soaking, widespread rain on Monday, but after that, some of that cold air is going to be able to spill on in. So plan on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe even into Friday. You're going to be looking at this rain and snow shower kind of a setup. You'll get some lake involvement. Temperatures are not going to be all that warm. We've got highs in the 30s, and there could be, Kayla, depending on how all of this ends up playing out, an opportunity for some accumulation.
Yeah, Eric, I don't love all the rain, but I'll take the slightly warmer temperatures for sure.
That part has been nice. 55 on Thanksgiving is pretty good.
Absolutely. I love it. Coming up next, Christmas in the country. Our very own John Kutchko takes us to a holiday lights display that's very impressive. See what he captured with his camera. Coming up at 5:30, details on a crash in Royalton that left a mother and child dead. But first, here's the fuel finder. You're watching News 8 at 5.
We didn't want you to feel left out.
Taking the initiative. I like it.
You're a good friend, Calvin.
You're right. I love you, Abishola. You're the best thing in my life.
We pursue the truth no matter where it leads us.
All right, let's get this show on the road.
Let's watch together, Monday on CBS.
Thanksgiving is about family. Now Bob Johnson Chevy makes this incredible Black Friday offer. Visit BobJohnsonBlackFriday.com. Download your savings voucher. Then through Monday, you're eligible for $2,000 off any new vehicle. How about this 2021 Chevy Trax? $149 a month. Lease it for $149. Avoid the crowd and get the deal. Find new roads at Bob Johnson.
Bob Johnson's got your ride. Bob Johnson.
When it comes to Medicare, great coverage doesn't have to cost you. With the $0 plan from Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield, you'll get the area's largest network of doctors and hospitals, $0 copays for Tier 1 generic drugs and select vaccines, 24/7 access to telemedicine, and no-cost preventive screenings, all with a $0 premium. And all from a local company with one of the most trusted names in the industry. Call today to speak with your Medicare advisor.
We've been helping families make joy for over 100 years, and we're not taking this year off. So the Ford Built for the Holiday sales event begins now. We're giving you the best deals of the season on select Ford SUVs and Ford Fusion. So get the family together and make some joy this season. Ford, built for the holidays.
Now get into a brand new Escape with limited time trade assist for as little as $239 a month.
With Mitsubishi Electric's revolutionary hyperheating systems, you can keep one or every room toasty with lower energy bills and no new ductwork, even when temperatures outside dip to -13. So your home will never feel like an icebox. Right, Buster? Good boy. Mitsubishi Electric Cooling and Heating. Make yourself comfortable.
Call AirQuip Heating and Air and get up to $4,500 in rebates on a Mitsubishi Electric multi-zone system.
Still hard to find a spot, just easier to park. Still the big move, just more moving. Still singing, just more in tune. Still the gang's all here, just less are we there yet. The Chevy family of SUVs, making life's journey just better.
Now, during the Chevy Cyber Sales event, use $500 Cyber Cash on most SUVs when you unlock your code. That's $139 a month on this Trax for current qualified lessees.
Here's what's coming up tonight on Channel 8 WROC. Download the News 8 app for live radar, breaking news, and your forecast. You're watching News 8.
Welcome back. You know, beginning tonight in Alexander, New York, just southwest of Batavia, is a very cool Christmas in the Country display at the Western New York Gas and Steam Engine Association. They are charging $10 a car to see the display on their grounds there, which is half a mile long. This is Genesee County there. Each summer, the organization holds a steam rally celebrating machinery and trucks, tractors of yesteryear. That event was canceled this year due to the COVID pandemic, like much of everything else. So they are doing this as a clever fundraiser, COVID compliant, lots of holiday displays to see. About 40 volunteers have been working on this since early October. They gave me a sneak peek last night. It is terrific for the kids, and they'll be holding this every Friday and Saturday from this week right on through about December 19th. They got a special showing tonight and also tomorrow night, Thanksgiving night in Alexander, New York. Again, just southwest of Batavia. Pretty cool. Guys, back to you.
I don't know. I know it's only Thanksgiving, but those lights are getting me ready for Christmas.
I'm kind of in that mode about now, too. I think we might even put the tree up this weekend.
I think so, too.
Wish we could have some snow for that, kind of set the mood. But I think this weekend's weather is actually quite nice, which is good. We could use a nice treat. The clouds and the drizzle hold tight tonight into the day tomorrow. We got some weather that might present some flakes into next week. We'll talk more about that coming up.
Why buy from Garber? We have over 6 acres of new Hondas to choose from with the low price guarantee. Like this Honda Civic, just $109 a month during the Happy Honda Day sales event. Unmatched value with the low price guarantee, it's Garber.
How do I use better than bouillon? I just add a spoonful to my marinades.
To stir fries?
Sauces.
Just whisk it in.
Brush it on. Sauté.
It adds a cooked all day taste.
That doesn't take all day.
Better than bouillon. Don't just make it better.
Over time, things wear down. Tires, brakes, and headlight bulbs too. Sylvania's lighting experts know that if you wait until burnout, you'll lose up to 50 feet of visibility. That's from here to here in darkness. Switch to a new pair of Sylvania bulbs today and see better tonight.
Hi, I'm Bill Hayes with Turnbull Heating, a York Certified Comfort Expert dealer. We install the most reliable and highest quality products that York has to offer with the best warranty in the business.
You'll have the full confidence with York's 10-year parts and labor warranty, affordable financing, utility and tax rebates, and 24/7 service by certified Turnbull technicians.
Install confidence with York and Turnbull.
In 1912, Leon L. Bean sold his first batch of 100 boots. 90 of them leaked. He refunded every pair and then perfected them. Because if it wasn't comfortable, he didn't want people to have it. This holiday season, we want to help you give the warmest, coziest gifts on earth and make you feel more comfortable than you have in a long, long time.
Get 15% off through December 1st at LL Bean.
Rise and shine with Tim Hortons' new buttermilk biscuit. Baked in-house daily. Soft and warm for a perfect buttery bite. The new buttermilk biscuit. A fluffier way to start your day. Now at Tim Hortons.
Some people want a lawyer who's mean. I'm not. Some people want a lawyer who's loud. I'm not. Everyone wants a lawyer who wins. We do. Hurt in a car? Call William Attar. 444-4444.
Who saves on a new Honda at Garber? Everybody. And during the Happy Honda Day sales event, this Honda CR-V is just $219 a month. Visit us online at garberhonda.com.
You'll do better at Garber.
News 8, sponsored by Lynch Furniture.
Now your forecast first.
Sponsored by ESL Federal Credit Union.
Hey, at least it's still warm. Temperatures in Rochester at 51 degrees. We still have that drizzle. We're going to keep with that drizzle through the evening, through the night, through the day tomorrow. The weekend looks a lot better, though. I think we sneak some sunshine in there and then some big changes next week. We will discuss coming up.
From the team you can trust. This is News 8 at 5:30.
Welcome back. Here's a recap of today's top stories. The Supreme Court has ruled against Governor Cuomo's decision to limit capacity at houses of worship in certain microcluster areas across New York. The High Court decided on the matter by a vote of 5-4 Wednesday evening. For example, previously in Monroe County's orange zone, gatherings were limited to 33%. Governor Cuomo says today that this decision, while not final yet, is a signal that this is a, quote, different court. A look at the latest COVID numbers from Monroe County. 329 new cases confirmed at the last update. That brings the 7-day rolling average to 326. No new deaths were reported, and the total number of deaths is at 317. Health officials say the safest way to celebrate Thanksgiving is at home with the people you live with. The CDC says gatherings with family and friends who do not live with you can increase the chances of getting or spreading COVID-19 or the flu. If you are spending Thanksgiving with people outside your house, wear a mask, practice social distancing, and wash your hands frequently. An update on a crash in Royalton, New York that left a mother and one child dead. The crash happened Wednesday evening on Lewiston Road in the town of Royalton. Niagara County sheriffs say the driver of the car that was hit was pronounced dead at Erie County Medical Center, along with one of the children in the back seat. 4 other children were also transported to the hospital and are currently in critical condition. The cause of the crash is currently under investigation, and no names have been released. During the pandemic, many have been able to afford food and other supplies necessary for a classic Thanksgiving dinner. Albany police did what they could to help families in need this holiday. Ben Ryan has more on this touching story.
When it comes to the Equinox Thanksgiving dinner, it is all hands on deck. And as they prepped and deliver over 11,000 meals thus far to those in need, they're now getting a little extra help from the Albany Police Department.
This really is a partnership in a lot of different ways, and it shows how this community comes together to help those who are in need.
Aside from patrolling the streets this Thanksgiving, the Albany Police Department spent the morning delivering an additional 570 meals to 126 homes.
There you go. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Chief Eric Hawkins says these efforts to lend a helping hand are to strengthen the community.
A difficult summer. It's been a difficult year for everybody. And to have these officers, we've got almost 24 officers that are out here that have volunteered their time to come out and serve this community. It tells you a lot about the dedication and commitment that these folks have. And it really helps us to connect more with our community as well.
And knocking from door to door and chatting with local residents.
Good job, police officer. Thank you, brother.
All right, thank you.
Community Service Liaison Justin Wall says it's about adapting to current times to still make a difference.
We couldn't deliver all the meals. The plaza shut down, so we just work with different folks and we figure out what's going to work out here. You see what we're doing here? We got plastic bags and single meals. We come out in the community, we feel safe, we trust everybody, they trust us. And I think we get that.
Ben Ryan reporting there. Domestic violence calls have increased during the pandemic, but now experts are saying that the holiday season may bring even more reports of abuse. Andy Mahalchik has the story.
You would expect, well, maybe there'll be more calls at this time, but in reality, the opposite is happening.
So says Suzanne Beck, who helps supervise the handling of domestic violence cases in a 3-county area, including Luzerne, Wyoming, and Carbon counties, for the Victims Resource Center of Northeastern Pennsylvania. Beck says the COVID-19 pandemic is now forcing victims to be inside their homes for longer periods of time.
People are spending more time at home and potentially with their abusers, more time in close proximity with their abusers. And certainly that gives us reason to be concerned.
Beck says domestic violence victims may actually feel trapped inside their own homes and not sure what to do.
One, people may not be able to get to a safe place. They may not be able to safely reach out for services, again, because they're holed up in a close proximity with their abuser and may not be able to make that phone call or reach out for services.
Beck urges people who feel they are in a dangerous situation to reach out.
And there is support there. Our 24-hour hotline is working all the way through the holidays. And so we encourage people, when it's safe, to reach out. And if it's somebody who you know, provide them with that information. Provide them with our hotline number.
Andy Mahalchik reporting there. The Willow Domestic Violence Center here in Rochester does have a 24/7 hotline that you can call if you are suffering from abuse. That number is 585-222-SAFE. AAA predicts a 10% decline in Thanksgiving travel, the largest one-year drop since the 2008 recession. 48 million drivers are expected to be on the road this weekend, a decline from nearly 50 million in 2019. Typically, the busiest travel day of this holiday stretch is the Sunday after Thanksgiving. Last year, it was the busiest day ever at TSA checkpoints. While we celebrate a modified version of Thanksgiving this year, U.S. soldiers overseas are also feeling the impact. CBS's Ian Lee is in London with how service members are spending the holiday in Iraq and Syria.
It's Thanksgiving on the front lines, but the mission doesn't take a holiday, and neither do the troops. In Syria, soldiers patrol towns and villages, but for Sergeant William Mills from the 82nd Airborne, it's the little things he's grateful for, like moments with local children.
It kind of takes your mind elsewhere. You kind of forget like the situation you're in, and it's nice to kind of, just relax and hang out.
Slices of home, like turkey and pie, are all takeaway this year. And at this base in northern Iraq, troops are practicing social distancing.
I'd like to send a message to COVID-19. Better not screw up my travel plans, so if you could just leave by the time I get back, that'd be great.
But the spirit of the season isn't lost on specialist Sharif Tijani Bimbola. The Apache mechanic immigrated from Nigeria 4 years ago.
I'm feeling grateful that I'm on a path to make a better life for my family, to make a better future for my child.
The health we have. Chief Medical Officer Chris Call thought his primary concern would be combat injuries. Instead, he set up quarantine wards for the more than 100 soldiers infected with the coronavirus.
COVID has really united us as a humanity on this base, as opposed to all of our individual units. It's really, in a lot of ways, brought us together in a way that I never could have imagined.
Call it COVID camaraderie. And in 2020, that's something to give thanks for. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
The U.S. is expected to withdraw about 500 of the 3,000 troops currently based in Iraq. About 1,000 are still serving in Syria. Tens of thousands of people in Argentina paid their respects to soccer legend Diego Maradona this morning. Maradona, who struggled with addiction, died at age 60 following a heart attack at home on Wednesday. 3 days of national mourning were called for the player who led Argentina to a 1986 World Cup win. The star's family is hoping to hold the burial on Thursday evening at the Bella Vista Cemetery, where his parents are also buried. Ahead in our Health Watch, how age and gender have played a factor in the severity of COVID symptoms. As we head to break, check out this shot from our live Sky Eye. Eric's full forecast coming up in a bit.
You're watching News 8. the team you can trust. Adam Chodak, Maureen Maguire, Chief Meteorologist Eric Sneidel. You're watching News 8 at 5:30.
When you have zero worries and zero stress, there are zero reasons not to get into a Volkswagen. Click, call, or come by today. Visit our Volkswagen Sign Then Drive event and lease the 2020 Jetta S today with zero down, zero deposit, zero first month's payment, and zero due at signing.
Bring all the gifts for under the tree. And while you're at it, bring the tree. Ford F-150. Built for the holidays.
Now returning Ford customers can get into a new F-150 with limited time trade assist for as little as $249 a month. Just $249.
Using telemedicine these days with easy access to the care you need, from mental health support to medical advice. So MVP Telemedicine is now free for all MVP healthcare members.
There's a spot.
Not feeling it.
What's wrong with that spot?
Too far. I know a better garage.
Sure you do.
I do.
What about here?
Crooked parking. Lighting's weird.
We're never going to park, are we?
Probably not.
Commit to the drive with intelligent all-wheel drive. Get a low $189 per month lease or get 0% financing for 72 months on the 2020 Altima.
If your credit score looks like this, you don't have to buy a car from a place like this. Bring $500 in your pay stub to any Vision location, and we'll get you finance guaranteed.
Make the Vision decision. Yeah!
There are zero reasons not to get into a Volkswagen, especially now that you can start shopping from home. Click, call, or come by today. Visit our Volkswagen Sign Then Drive event and lease the 2020 Tiguan S4 Motion today with zero down, zero deposit, zero first month's payment, and zero due at signing.
Now a look at our Health Watch. A new study of suspected COVID-19 infections in the UK emergency rooms shows differences in symptoms and outcomes based on many factors. The researchers looked at more than 22,000 patients from March through May and found adults were sicker and had higher rates of hospitalization, more positive COVID tests, and more deaths compared to children. Men were more likely than women to be admitted and die. Researchers say African Americans have a higher risk of stroke caused by blood clots to the brain compared to white Americans. Now a new study suggests the structure of the heart may play a role. Researchers found differences in the left atrium in the hearts that could be a contributor. And we should exceed the recommended weekly physical activity to offset the harms of sitting too long. That's according to new guidelines from the World Health Organization. It says all physical activity counts and recommends 150 to 300 minutes a week of moderate intensity or at least 75 to 100 minutes of vigorous intensity activity. All right, Eric, is it still raining out there? Just let us know.
Still raining out. That could be some of the vigorous activities, you know, running from your car to a building to avoid some of those raindrops. It's not that big of a deal. It's just drizzle. It's like we want to get this on out of here. We will do that eventually, but it might not be as fast as you'd like. We're going to time this all out in 3 minutes. I will see you then.
News 8, sponsored by Connors and Ferris.
Thanksgiving is about family. Now Bob Johnson Chevy makes this incredible Black Friday offer. Visit BobJohnsonBlackFriday.com. Download your savings voucher. Then through Monday, you're eligible for $2,000 off any new vehicle. How about this 2021 Chevy Trax? $149 a month. Lease it for $149. Avoid the crowd and get the deal. Find new roads at Bob Johnson.
Bob Johnson's got your vibe. Bob
Experience the new, easier way to shop with something for everyone and for every budget. Come see what's new. Be inspired. Expand your expectations during the grand reopening sale at Stickley Audi & Company. Through Monday, get 35% off store-wide. Plus, save even more with free delivery. Get this hot buy stylish sofa now only $15.30. Hurry. The grand reopening sale ends Monday at all Stickley Audi & Company locations.
Still hard to find a spot, just easier to park. Still the big move, just more moving. Still singing, just more in tune. Still the gang's all here, just less are we there yet. The Chevy family of SUVs, making life's journey just better.
Now during the Chevy Cyber Sales event, use $500 Cyber Cash on most SUVs when you unlock your code. That's around $179 a month on this Equinox for current qualified lessees.
It is the question that matters the most.
¿Dónde está?
That takes you behind the story.
Robert.
It drives everything we do. It is the foundation of trust.
Who did all of this?
And the truth that propels us forward.
What did you make of that?
It is the question. One word, 3 letters long. And without it, our purpose,
that's news,
and our freedom fade. This is why.
M&T Bank, understanding what's important.
From the weather team you can trust, here's Chief Meteorologist Eric Sneidel.
Who needs daylight to be able to see things, even at dark? When you've got the low clouds and some of that drizzle that's out there, the city lights of Rochester here in the distance are enough to illuminate some of that fog and that low deck of cloud cover. It tells you it's still kind of yucky out there tonight, and we don't think that element of the forecast is going to be changing anytime soon. Next 24 hours or so, it is more of the same. Temperatures are in the low 50s right now. I think we end up finding our way, I think middle, maybe upper 40s all the way through early tomorrow morning. We got a high tomorrow near 50, so we really don't move a whole lot. Morning to afternoon, unless you can introduce some sunshine into that forecast, temperatures are going to be very stagnant. More drizzle, whether you see it on radar or not, is a moot point. That drizzle is going to be there. Where you actually do see some light green showing up, that's where it's likely more than just drizzle. They'll call that light rain, light showers at that point. But the main event, the main action that gave us all that rainfall yesterday, that is the low pulling off to the east. It's just the stuff behind it. We can't get rid of this shallow moisture, which means more of the same going into our Friday. Now, every year, this is about the time we give the Black Friday forecast. You know, everybody's getting up early, waiting in line to do their shopping. You know, between the pandemic and just everything changing, it feels like this is an online shopping kind of a year. So I'll go ahead and throw a graphic of what it's going to look like at my house, and maybe yours too. We got the thermostat set at 70. And I typically, when my wife Katie's not looking, I'll lower it to 66. Within 5 minutes, she catches me and then punishes me and sets it back up to 75 before we, finally make up and settle back on 70 degrees. But that's literally your forecast tomorrow. I can't imagine there's going to be that many of you that are out and about in these physical stores, at least at this point. Through the rest of the day here tomorrow, I think that little light green stuff is still going to be there. We're going to keep that going all the way into the night, and honestly, there might even be a leftover raindrop or snowflake into early Saturday morning. That will be the last of this push. By the afternoon on Saturday, we're getting a lot of that out of here. Skies will then clear out. It's a cool Saturday, but we should end our day with some sunshine. That's the first time we've had sunshine in the forecast in a while, and you'll do it again on Sunday. It's warmer, low 50s, mostly sunny. We'll take it. Then the bottom starts to drop out of this. Watch what happens on Monday. We think Monday is a soaking, widespread rainfall. Beginning in the morning, it will rain through the afternoon. It will rain through the evening. We'll get a little drier into Monday night, and then the wraparound flow out of this will set the stage for snow showers to develop on Tuesday, and that seems to be the overall flavor of the forecast. Beyond Monday, for the rest of most of next week, we're going to go in and out of these rain and snow showers, especially some of those lake-favored areas, as that low-pressure area does not want to move very fast. So relatively speaking, Kayla, we're pretty quiet as we start to move forward. Outside of some of that drizzle, minimal rain chances, weekend sunshine, very busy around here next week.
Eric, I think a lot of us can relate to that thermostat battle. I have to say, I'm on Katie's side. It's got to be at least
every single
70
time.
for me.
Yep.
All right, ahead in our Health Wash, a new antibody test that could determine how protected you are against COVID-19.
Why buy from Garber? We have over 6 acres of new Hondas to choose from with the low price guarantee. Like this Honda Civic, just $109 a month during the Happy Honda Day sales event. Unmatched value with the low price guarantee, it's Garber.
We made USAA insurance for members like Martin, an Air Force veteran made of doing what's right, not what's easy. So when a hailstorm hit, USAA reached out before he could even inspect the damage.
That's how you do it right.
USAA insurance is made just the way Martin's family needs it. With hassle-free claims, he got paid before his neighbor even got started. Because doing right by our members, that's what's right. USAA. What you're made of, we're made for.
It's the season to save big at the Hyundai Thanksgiving sales event. Get great deals like 0% financing for 72 months on select vehicles. Plus, enjoy the peace of mind that comes with America's best warranty and complimentary maintenance. Can't wait to satisfy your holiday cravings? Then hurry in to the Hyundai Thanksgiving sales event now and feast on the savings.
Lease a Tucson for $149 a month or get 0% APR for 72 months with no payments until April 2021. Hurry in.
Did you know that automated calls made to your cell phone without your consent is against the law? For every robocall you did not consent to, you're entitled to a minimum of $500 per call. That's right. If you received 100 unwanted robocalls, you could be entitled to up to $50,000 or more. At the law offices of Kenneth Hiller, we do not charge a fee unless we win. Call today to see if you have a case.
We've been helping families make joy for over 100 years, and we're not taking this year off. So the Ford Built for the Holiday sales event begins now. We're giving you the best deals of the season on select Ford SUVs and Ford Fusion. So get the family together and make some joy this season. Ford, Built for the Holidays.
Now get into a brand new Escape with limited time trade assist for as little as $239 a month.
Who saves on a new Honda at Garber? Everybody. And during the Happy Honda Day sales event, this Honda CR-V is just $219 a month. Visit us online at garberhonda.com.
You'll do better at Garber.
Here's what's coming up tonight on Channel 8 WROC. Download the News 8 app for live radar, breaking news, and your forecast.
In our Consumer Watch, a new COVID-19 antibody test gets the green light. The FDA has authorized a new test developed by Cantero Biosciences that would measure specific levels of antibodies. It's an effort to determine how much a person is protected against COVID-19. Previous tests could only tell if people had been sick with the virus or not. Hundreds of thousands of Americans continue to file jobless claims. According to the Labor Department, 778,000 people signed up for unemployment benefits last week. That was more than expected and up from the previous week. And the number of people filing for pandemic-related unemployment assistance topped 311,000. Sunbeam is recalling more than 914,000 six-quart Express Crock-Pot multi-cookers. The products were sold between July 2017 through this November. The lid can suddenly detach and poses burn risks when hot food is ejected. At least 99 injuries were reported, and the company will send free replacement lids. And be careful with cocktails and credit cards. According to a new survey from retail platform Declutter, 1 in 5 shoppers will make online purchases for the holidays while intoxicated. 41% said they've browsed while buzzed in the past, so much so that more than a quarter admitted they forgot they made a digital purchase until it arrived. Finding out your baby has a birth defect can be devastating. Meet a mother from Oklahoma who hit the road looking for answers after her unborn son was diagnosed with a serious neurological defect. Thanks to a unique procedure during pregnancy, he's got a fighting chance at walking one day. Erica Foreman has more.
Every scar tells a story, and baby Tyler's is one that defies the odds. Before birth, he was diagnosed with spina bifida, where the spine doesn't form properly, exposing the spinal cord, leading to nerve and possible brain damage.
His cerebellum was showing signs of malformation. They said that he could lose function of his legs, his feet. He could develop club feet. He could also lose function of his bowel and his urine, and we were looking at a pretty severe case.
Babies with spina bifida typically undergo surgery to cover the spinal cord a few days after birth, but some hospitals now operate before a baby is born, in utero, to reverse damage and allow the brain to form normally.
There's a risk to doing it before birth, but if you take 100 children, more than not will have a significant benefit from doing it before birth.
After being turned away by another hospital, the McCaws traveled 14 hours from Oklahoma to Cleveland Clinic. And 4 days later, at 26 weeks along, Tyler and his mom, Kimmy, went into surgery.
We keep the baby nicely floating in fluid inside the uterus, but the back is exposed, and we work on the back.
Doctors carefully put nerve and spinal cord elements back inside the spinal canal and use muscle and skin to cover them. Then the uterus is closed.
The cerebellum improved greatly, and he said that the surgery was a success.
Kimmy was monitored carefully, and 8 weeks later, Tyler was born by C-section.
We think now he will have the best long-term outcome of avoiding any risk of hydrocephalus and having the best motor performance of his legs and the best ability to walk independently.
It's been more than a year, and the McCaws recently celebrated Tyler's first birthday. They say he's making amazing progress.
Follow that road less traveled, and always pray and don't give up hope.
Erica Foreman reporting there. Doctors say Tyler is expected to walk in 1 to 2 years. In the meantime, he continues seeing spina bifida specialists to ensure his legs, bowels, and urinary habits continue to develop and function normally. Definitely a lot to be thankful for this Thanksgiving. That's it for News 8 at 5:30. Coming up next at 6, what Governor Cuomo is saying about the Supreme Court decision to block part of New York's COVID-19 restrictions.
Ridgecoin, the best price for gold and silver for over 40 years.
I know this all looks very Hollywood. But guess what? This is a Nissan sales event ad. Sales event ads are usually boring. Is this boring? Ooh, nice. This Sentra has more standard safety features than that 3 Series behind me. Oh, we're going Rogue now.
Lease Rogue Sport, just $159 per month.
Getting ready for Black Friday? In-store or online, Orville's has everything you need to cross off your shopping list. The area's best selection of brand name home appliances? Check. Thousands of discounts with savings up to 50% off? Absolutely. Incredible deals on 4-piece kitchen packages? You bet. Fast delivery on in-stock items and professional installation? Double check. Hurry in now through December 3rd. Doors open at 8 a.m. on Black Friday. Orville's. Your home, our life.
Rochester, you really did share the warmth. More than 1,200 coats were collected and handed out to those in need.
More families are in need than ever.
To Fidelis Care, Julian's Dry Cleaners,
and Action for a Better Community and the City of Rochester, thank you for your generosity.
When the power goes out, how long will it be out? Hours, days, weeks? The best solution is Hurricane Home Solutions, making you and your family comfortable, safe, and secure. With a Cummins Quiet Connect generator, you'll have power when you need it the most. Reliable, cost-effective, and convenient to use. Don't get caught in the dark. Hurricane Home Solutions, powering your life when the lights go out. Call and schedule a consultation today.
When COVID hit, we wore our masks and kept our distance, and our numbers stayed low. Now it's tempting to relax, especially in small groups. But we can't let our guard down. Keep wearing those masks. Stay 6 feet apart. Don't forget to wash your hands and avoid gatherings as much as you can. We'll get through this. But for now, let's stay strong to stay safe. You are medicine. Medicine of the highest order.
Merry Christmas from Fiddlers.
Fiddlers, Main Street, East Aurora. Now your forecast first.
Sponsored by ESL Federal Credit Union.
A warm Thanksgiving marches on. We are still at 50 degrees in Rochester. A lot of clouds, there's some fog, there's some drizzle out there. In the bad part of this forecast, we're going to do this again tomorrow. Not a whole lot changes on Friday. A lot will change going into the weekend. We've got sunshine in the forecast and then a messy mix next week. Lots to talk about. We'll do that coming up.
Also ahead, the Supreme Court blocks Governor Cuomo's decision to limit capacity at houses of worship amid the pandemic. Plus, millions of Americans are still choosing to fly for the holiday. A look at Thanksgiving travel here in Rochester as COVID-19 cases surge.
From the team you can trust, this is News 8 at 6.
Thank you for joining us on this Thanksgiving. I'm Kayla Green. Adam and Maureen have the night off. The coronavirus pandemic is making this Thanksgiving like no other as COVID-19 cases are soaring across the country and right here at home. Over the last 24 hours, 329 new cases reported in Monroe County. No new deaths have been reported and the total deaths remain at 317. Hospitalization numbers were not updated today. And the latest numbers across New York. Statewide, we are at a 3.18% positivity rate, 67 new deaths. Over 3,000 people are currently in the hospital across the state, with over 600 in the ICU. The Supreme Court has blocked strict COVID-19 restrictions on New York houses of worship, going against Governor Cuomo's executive orders. The High Court decided on the matter by a vote of 5-4 Wednesday evening. For example, previously in Monroe County's orange zone, gatherings were limited to 33%. Governor Cuomo said today that this decision, while not final yet, is a signal that this is a, quote, different court. We spoke to several mass-goers in our area who had mixed reactions to the High Court's ruling.
We go to church, we social distance, we wear masks. There's a protocol that nobody's allowed into church without. So we shouldn't be penalized because he wants to close everything down.
I'm very happy with the decision. I think limiting it to 25 is a little overboard. So I'm happy. We've been doing great. There's been no outbreaks at all at Mass because we are limited as it is.
Well, so many new cases. And all of a sudden our state is one of the higher. And I'm 74. I don't want to be on the list of the deceased. So no, I'm not taking any chances.
The court's action yesterday could push New York to reevaluate its restrictions on houses of worship in areas designated virus hotspots. There are currently several areas in the state designated orange zones, including parts of Monroe County, but no red zones, according to data from the state. Meanwhile, AAA predicts a 10% decline in Thanksgiving travel, the largest one-year drop since the 2008 recession. But that still means a lot of people are on the move despite the risks. Today, we sent reporter Atia Collins to the Greater Rochester International Airport to talk to some of those travelers.
Experts say travel will be lower this year because of the COVID-19 pandemic, but there are still people making the trip. Here at the Greater Rochester International Airport, there are some arrivals and departures going on today, and we talked to travelers to see just why they're making the trip. Most people traveling on Thanksgiving are doing so for family.
Haven't seen my family in a long time, so miss them.
Hannah Inger is part of the 50 million Americans expected to travel this year, the largest one-year decrease since the 2008 recession, according to a AAA travel forecast. The drop is largely due to COVID, something Inger says is making her take extra precautions while traveling.
I wouldn't say I'm worried, but I take all the safety precautions, wash my hands all the time. Don't want it to affect my life, completely, but I do everything I can to be safe.
The decision to travel or stay home has pushed traffic volumes at the Greater Rochester International Airport down by 75%. But for those with no other choice but to travel in order to see their loved ones, they feel safe with the airport's safety protocols and are doing what they can to keep their risk low.
I take it very seriously.
but I'm coming back here to meet my fiance and drive her back to Colorado, so I was going to fly one way or another.
The National Guard is still here to enforce those COVID protocols for people entering New York State. And if you're traveling after the holidays, leaders say make sure you check with your state's health requirements to ensure you get home safely. Reporting, Atia Collins, News 8.
Atia, thank you. As for travel on roadways, 48 million drivers are expected to be on the road this weekend, a decline from nearly 50 million in 2019. Rochester police are investigating a two-car crash that happened early this morning in downtown Rochester. Rochester police responded to the intersection of East Main Street and North Clinton Avenue, where one vehicle ran a red light that caused it to collide with another, causing the striking vehicle to roll on its side. Officials said the occupants of both vehicles were taken to area hospitals, but as a precautionary measure, and no injuries were reported. A Rochester resident no longer has a home after a Thanksgiving Day fire. It happened on Post Avenue around noon today. Fire crews say the fire started on the second floor. Thankfully, no one was home. Firefighters say the home is no longer habitable and stress the importance of having working smoke detectors in the home.
Especially this time of year when things are closed up, it holds everything inside. It's, the most important thing. And if you don't have one, you have to call the fire department. We'll come bring you a smoke detector.
The Red Cross is assisting one adult who was displaced, and the cause of the fire is still under investigation. Thanksgiving looks different this year, but that didn't stop folks in our area from stepping up to help others in a time of need. Food giveaways are smaller scaled this year, but those involved say the energy and spirits are still high. Eric Cost visited 2 different Thanksgiving food giveaways today and has the story.
One thing I noticed about these events, they were small and coordinated so that people could come quickly, grab their food, and be on their way. Here at Abundance Food Co-op, Thanksgiving meals and winter clothes were handed out. Beth Sumner, the marketing manager for the co-op, says 2 months of planning went into this.
This whole month we've been collecting donations at our register and online. We got 6 turkeys altogether. We are stacked out there.
She says she can't stop smiling because it feels so good to just help others in a time where Thanksgiving feels so different this year.
That's not only what Thanksgiving is about, but that's what the co-op is about, is our community and trying to help as best as we can and be of service.
Another small-scale pre-packaged giveaway over in Canandaigua happened for seniors in this apartment complex, thanks to Salvation Army. The manager at the complex says normally there would be a feast here.
Normally we would have a Thanksgiving dinner catered here for them, but we weren't able to do that this year and have it be safe for them. COVID has been really difficult for them. They are socially isolated from their families and even from the neighborhood within this building.
Janet Miller is one of those residents who won't be celebrating with a family.
There's a nice dinner we got.
She's smiling because she says she's thankful to have a caring community around her.
I got friends here, they're my family.
And as for the Abundance Food Co-op, I'm standing outside now. Sumner tells me they were able to raise almost $2,000 from donations over the past few months for all the food and goodies handed out today. In Rochester, Erica Cost, News 8.
Thank you, Erica. The manager of the home says the age group in this apartment complex isn't used to technology like Zoom and FaceTime to connect, but they find other ways, like sliding notes under each other's doors. Now, not the prettiest of Thanksgiving days outside. What about the night ahead? Let's check in now with Chief Meteorologist Eric Sneidel for the latest.
I'll tell you what, Kayla, if you didn't like today, you're probably not going to like tonight. It's going to be more of the same. This Thanksgiving, though, has actually been the warmest one we've had in 5 years. We got to 55 degrees this afternoon. Temperatures just 2 years ago, we were at 7. That was it. Huge difference in that regard. Radar and satellite out there right now. Most of the action is pushed off to the east, but we got to make this point. Even though you may not be seeing it showing up on radar, it is drizzling, and this is going to be the case through the night, through a good chunk of the day tomorrow. We'll call it a drizzle of gravy, continuing with that Thanksgiving theme. Not always going to see it, but that rain chance is at about 30%. Tomorrow, back for seconds, pretty much rinse and repeat. More drizzle, temperatures around 50 degrees, a lot like today, doing it again on Friday. We get to gobble up some of that sunshine, though, into the weekend. Sunshine will return by Saturday afternoon. Lots of sunshine on Sunday, and then, Kayla, well, and then we get to talk about next week, and there is a lot to talk about next week with the pattern setting up. We will do that here coming up in a few.
Sunshine is great news, yes. Eric, thank you. And for a live look at your forecast any time of the day, download the News 8 weather app. It's free for both Android and Apple devices. Still ahead on News 8, a global pandemic wasn't enough to stop the beloved Macy's Day Parade in New York City. We'll take you to the excitement next.
You're watching News 8, the team you can trust. Adam Chodak, Maureen McGuire, Chief Meteorologist Eric Sneidel, and Sports Director Thad Brown. You're watching News 8 at 6.
News 8, sponsored by MVP Healthcare.
For all your holiday purchases, get the card that rewards you. The ESL Rewards Visa Signature Credit Card earns you bonus points to redeem for cash back and more. Apply online today and receive an immediate response.
It's the Lazy Boy Black Friday sale. A sale too big for just one day. Get store-wide savings, plus 0% interest until January 2024. It's the ultimate savings event. The Black Friday sale. Lazy Boy. Live life comfortably.
I would end the day with sore feet, sore legs. The drugstore inserts that I was purchasing were really not very useful at all. I walked into the Good Feet store and the guy kind of grinned at me and said, I hear that a lot. I was living with chronic pain before going to the Good Feet store. Now I don't really have that problem. I'm able to do the things that I expect to be able to do, even at my advanced age. I feel pretty good about what's going on.
See what we can do for you with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Still hard to find a spot, just easier to park. Still the big move, just more moving. Still singing, just more in tune. Still the gang's all here, just less are we there yet. The Chevy family of SUVs, making life's journey just better.
Now, during the Chevy Cyber Sales event, use $500 Cyber Cash on most SUVs when you unlock your code. That's $139 a month on this Trax for current qualified lessees.
Make the vision decision.
Sentra is the best-selling Nissan model ever. Now, lease a new Vision Nissan Sentra for $229 a month with zero down.
Make the vision decision.
The smart decision.
For all your holiday shopping, get the card that saves you money. The ESL Visa credit card makes it easier with 0% APR for 12 months. Apply online today and receive an immediate response.
Closed captioning sponsored by MVP Healthcare.
Here's what's coming up tonight on Channel 8 WROC. Download the News 8 app for live radar, breaking news, and your forecast. You're watching News 8.
Welcome back. A beloved holiday tradition continues. The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade kicked off this morning. The festivities looked a little different this year, though. The televised event featured live performances, classic character floats, and of course an appearance by Santa. Macy's officials said that they wanted to avoid the crowds of over 1 million that typically gather. So, no crowds were allowed to gather along the 2.5-mile route for the first time in the parade's 94-year history. But that didn't stop some fans from still showing up.
Tell me about your costume, why you dressed up and decided to come out here.
Well, it was his idea, and we just decided we had this vision of him just walking around with a little balloon, just being his own parade. And we decided why not just keep the magic alive. So we didn't really know what was going to be happening today, but we just thought we'd create our own parade. Honestly, it's a rainy day. I'm glad we've never made it this close to the parade before, so that's kind of a plus. But yeah, we're walking past little street corners and seeing people waving and smiling, and I guess if you can make anyone smile during this time, you're doing your job, you know?
This year's parade's elements were staged throughout the Herald Square area of Manhattan, the location of the iconic Macy's store, which is the traditional endpoint of the event. Not the best weather for a parade today, though. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Eric Sneidel to see what's coming up in the full forecast. Eric?
No, it hasn't been, but you know what? We've at least had the warmth, and we still have that right now. It is 50 degrees in Rochester. You don't really move much tonight. We won't move much tomorrow. The movement will come beginning the weekend. We're going to talk about some sunshine headed our way and a much more active pattern into next week. I will update your forecast ahead.
Henrietta Mall Antiques. Shop or sell. The best deal in town.
If your credit score looks like this, you don't have to buy a car from a place like this. Bring $500 in your pay stub to any Vision location, and we'll get you financed guaranteed.
Make the Vision decision.
And when you come to any Vision location, you'll have access to the best brand name cars, trucks, and SUVs in the world. Cars that hold their value, cars you'll be proud to drive.
Make the Vision decision.
Hi, I'm Bill Hayes with Turnbull Heating, a York Certified Comfort Expert dealer.
We install high-quality York products backed by a 10-year warranty, affordable financing, utility and tax rebates, and 24/7 service.
Install confidence with York and Turnbull.
Experience the new, easier way to shop with something for everyone and for every budget. Come see what's new. Be inspired. Expand your expectations. During the grand reopening sale at Stickley Audi & Company. Through Monday, get 35% off store-wide. Plus, save even more with free delivery. Get this hot buy stylish sofa now only $15.30. Hurry. The grand reopening sale ends Monday at all Stickley Audi & Company locations.
After my accident, I needed a lot of help. My attorney now at the Barnes firm got me $5 million.
The Barnes Firm. Injury attorneys. Call 1-800-8-million.
Helping seniors.
Helping kids.
Helping families.
Helping pets. These are the lives Subaru retailers have impacted in our communities through our support of over 1,400 hometown charities. In fact, Subaru and our retailers will have proudly donated over $200 million to national and hometown charities through the Subaru Share the Love event. Get a great vehicle and support a great cause at Van Bordel Subaru.
All around the world, we are one. We are one. All around the world, we are one. So where did we all go wrong?
From the weather team you can trust, here's Chief Meteorologist Eric Sneidel.
A glow in the sky above the city of Rochester tonight. This is our live sky eye. Kind of a neat shot to be able to see this. The low clouds, some of the drizzle that's been falling actually illuminated from the lights of the city of Rochester. And when you get that deck that is low enough with that cloud cover, you're able to get some of that reflection bouncing back here and able to see it, even though it is pitch black dark outside. Doesn't mean the forecast is that nice, though. Typically, when you see that, you know the weather is kind of crummy, more drizzle, more fog will continue through the course of the night. This is Thanksgiving night, though. A lot of us are now just kind of in relaxed mode here, watch a little TV and maybe hit the bed a little early tonight after that big meal. Temperatures dropping into the 40s from here. The clouds will hang on. I think that general trend of this forecast has one more day left in it on Friday. Tomorrow's going to be pretty much today. Just -5 degrees. That's it. Otherwise, it is quite literally identical. Satellite and radar tonight. If you're following along at home, and we say this a lot of times with lake effect, because lake effect clouds are very shallow, you will not be able to see a whole lot showing up here. But when you step outside, you will be feeling some of those light raindrops. Why? Well, because that cloud deck we saw in Rochester was so low, the radar beam goes above it. So it's not able to see it. But know that whether you can see it or not, there is going to be drizzle out there tonight and through the better part of the day tomorrow. But the heavier and steadier rain, that's all gone. That is pushed eastward. That main low now located closer to Maine, certainly than here in western New York. A lot of times, though, when these systems scoot on out of here, you get much drier air to punch in its wake. That is not going to be the case in this particular instance, and that low moisture will be very stubborn through the course of the day tomorrow. It will not rain all day. In fact, the vast majority of your Friday is going to be spent dry. It's just going to be completely overcast, and every now and then some of those light raindrops will fall. That will keep our temperatures Friday on the cooler end of the spectrum. I'm thinking upper 40s, maybe if we're lucky about 50 degrees. And we get cold enough, by the way, Friday night and Saturday morning, that you might even be able to sneak in a sleet pellet or two, maybe a snow flurry early on Saturday. Now watch what happens from here. By Saturday afternoon, finally, it feels like it's been weeks since we've been able to use the sunshine word. Sun will come out into the afternoon on Saturday, and once that happens, I think Sunday is going to be another beautiful day, too, with abundant sunshine. Big storm system, though, into the early part of next week. This is not uncommon in the month of November, just fall in general. A low will form near the state of Alabama. It has eyes on us in western New York by Monday. Warm air on the east side, cold air on the backside of this. And typically when these lows move right overhead, you end up getting both. First, the warm air. That'll be Monday. I think widespread rain is likely by Tuesday and beyond. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we're going to be looking at more of a rain-snow mix with perhaps some lake involvement. So check it out. There's your sunshine on Sunday. This is Monday as we go back to work. It starts raining in the morning. The rain gets heavier in the afternoon. Still raining going into Monday evening. And then by Tuesday, a lot of that green is overspread with white and blue as colder air starts to push on in. There's a decent chance out of this that we could see some accumulation here, but all of that is going to be very track dependent. We'll have to iron all of that out next week. Just know at this point, next week from a weather perspective is going to be busy in some way, shape, or form. And this weekend, Kayla, is going to be sunny. I'll tell you right now, I am taking all of Sunday and soaking up that vitamin D. It has been a while since we've had that.
Eric, I can't wait for that sun. I keep saying it, but looking so forward to that.
Great.
Thank you so much. And coming up in sports, the Bills will have their hands full on Sunday with one of the top pass rushers in the league. A.J. Feldman shares how they're up to the challenge after the break.
Women 50 and older should get a mammogram at least every 2 years. Why?
Black women are more likely to die from breast cancer.
In these uncertain times, it's still important to get screened.
Talk to your healthcare provider. I did.
Getting ready for Black Friday? In-store or online, Orville's has everything you need to cross off your shopping list. The area's best selection of brand name home appliances? Check. Thousands of discounts with savings up to 50% off? Absolutely. Incredible deals on 4-piece kitchen packages? You bet. Fast delivery on in-stock items and professional installation? Double check. Hurry in now through December 3rd. Doors open at 8 a.m. on Black Friday. Orville's. Your home, our life.
At Honda, we take the holidays seriously. Both with serious rugged performance and serious capability. So while others might be dreaming of winter wonderlands, you could be shattering expectations with the best value of the season. Now's the best time to get into a new Honda. KBB.com's best value brand for 2020. Visit Happy Honda Days at your local Honda dealer or shop online to get a great offer on the Pilot.
Here we go again. Bogle wine for just $5.49. Hi, it's Leanne from Lisa's Liquor Barn. Bogle is an award-winning California wine for $8.49 per bottle, but save even more with an $18 mail-in rebate on 6 bottles. Your final cost just $5.49 per bottle, and you're allowed 3 rebates per household for savings up to $54. What a great deal from our friends at Bogle Vineyards. For the lowest prices in Rochester, come to Lisa's Liquor Barn in Penfield. Why pay more?
When it comes to saving energy and money, every little bit helps. Whether you're trying something new in the kitchen or upgrading the heart of your system, RG&E can help put more green in your pocket and the environment. Check out our free online tips, money-saving rebates, and energy efficiency solutions. Powerful savings start here. Check out yourenergyrge.com today.
Still hard to find a spot, just easier to park. Still the big move, just more moving. Still singing, just more in tune. Still the gang's all here, just less are we there yet. The Chevy family of SUVs, making life's journey just better.
Now during the Chevy Cyber Sales event, use $500 cyber cash on most SUVs when you unlock your code. That's around $179 a month on this Equinox for current qualified lessees.
From the official broadcast home of the Buffalo Bills, here's A.J. Feldman with News 8 Sports.
The Bills have faced a handful of elite pass rushers so far this year, and another one comes to Orchard Park on Sunday in Chargers and Joey Bosa. Dan Dawkins is well familiar with Bosa. The two train together at the same facility in the offseason. He calls him the definition of a great player and knows he'll have his hands full come this Sunday afternoon.
He's a special player, man. He gives it his all. He works on his craft, and he plays with that killer instinct. And it's a task. You just have to just tone in just a tad bit more, they come in to kill, and they have to come through us.
Just start with the pedigree. You know, it's one after another, it seems like, of these Bosa, the Bosa family, you know, and maybe there's more to come, I don't know, but they're phenomenal players, man, phenomenal athletes, talents, and they've given quarterbacks a headache for a number of years now. So, yeah, he's a special player.
The Bills did not practice today, taking Thanksgiving off, but they did release a projected injury report for today. Things are not getting any better for wide receiver John Brown, who would have missed his third straight day of practice with an ankle injury. We'll find out more from Sean McDermott come tomorrow morning. For the latest on Brown and all the other teams' injury concerns, there aren't that many other than Brown. Be sure to kick off your Sunday with Buffalo Kickoff Live on Sunday. The party starts at 11 o'clock on RochesterFirst.com, where Thad Brown and the rest of the gang break down everything Bills. Then at 11:30, head on over to News 8 for the final half hour of our show. That will be followed by the NFL Today on CBS, and then the Bills are back in action after their bye, taking on the Chargers. Bills almost a touchdown favorite. Kickoff is at 1 o'clock, and the only place you can see it is right here on News 8. And then after things wrap up, be sure to catch Bills Game Day Recap. Thad Brown, Alexa Ross, they have full locker room reaction, in-depth analysis. It is live every week at RochesterFirst.com, and it starts at 7:45. A little Thanksgiving Day football this afternoon as the Lions hosted the Texans. A lot of fun plays in this one. Scoreless in the first. That is a handoff to a reverse, to a flea flicker, to a wide-open T.J. Hawkinson. He gets to the red zone. Eventually, they find the end zone on that drive. They're up 7-0. So the next time the Lions with the ball, T.J. Watt says, "Thank you very much. I will take..." Excuse me, that's J.J. Watt. T.J. Watt plays with the Steelers. He was not in this game. They would have played on Thanksgiving, but long story short. Now the Texans are up 34-17 in the fourth. How's this for an exclamation point? Duke Johnson, the delayed toss back to Deshaun Watson as a wide open Will Fuller. On the bright side, no Lions fans to watch this drubbing. Texans win 41-25.
This is outstanding play calling. You know how many plays?
After their season was canceled, then restarted. After their opening game was set and then changed, the RIT men's hockey team will finally begin their season tomorrow night, and they have their work cut out for them, facing number 9 Clarkson, a team that the Tigers have never beaten in 9 tries all time.
We're anxious to see where we stack up against a top 10 team, and we've done this a number of times, whether it be down at Blue Cross or other venues, so we're anxious to see where we stack up, and we're hungry to play, and I think that's the main thing. And are we going to make mistakes? Can it get a little sloppy? I'm sure it will, but it'll be good to be on the ice and know that you're playing against a really good team.
That game starts at 5 o'clock. No fans allowed in attendance, of course. We will have your highlights. We will also have Eric Seidel back after the break with the final check of your forecast.
The Bills Report is sponsored by MVP Healthcare.
Still hard to find a spot, just easier to park. Still the big move, just more moving. Still singing, just more in tune. Still the gang's all here, just less are we there yet. The Chevy family of SUVs, making life's journey just better.
Now during the Chevy Cyber Sales event, use $500 Cyber Cash on most SUVs when you unlock your code. That's around $179 a month on this Equinox for current qualified lessees.
When it comes to workers' comp, things can change quickly.
The only way to make sure your rights are protected is to have a trusted, committed attorney on your side.
An attorney who has devoted their career to helping injured workers.
Someone to fight for the money and medical benefits you deserve.
The only person on your side
is the attorney at your side.
Connors and Ferris, your workers' comp attorneys.
Thanksgiving is about family. Now Bob Johnson Chevy makes this incredible Black Friday offer. Visit BobJohnsonBlackFriday.com. Download your savings voucher. Then through Monday, you're eligible for $2,000 off any new vehicle. How about this 2021 Chevy Trax? $149 a month. Lease it for $149. Avoid the crowd and get the deal. Find new roads at Bob Johnson.
Bob Johnson's got your ride. Bob Johnson.
6 weeks into being a mom, and I was back to work full time. I didn't like the way it felt.
and that's how I started Marvelous Minds. Our mission is to empower children to be who they are. That's play-based learning. We provide late-night child care to help parents make great strides towards their goals. I think it's just so cool that I'm growing where I was planted. This is home.
Head home this holiday with the one you love. Visit your local Mercedes-Benz dealer today for exceptional lease and financing offers at the Mercedes-Benz Winter Event.
It's time now for the News 8 photo album. Today's photo comes from David Hurlbut. It was taken at Heart and Hands Winery in Union Spring on Cayuga Lake. Thanks, David, for sending us this photo. All right, Eric, one more look at weather. What's going on out there?
We got temperatures right now roughly around 50 degrees. We'll fall back into the upper 40s. You got the clouds. You've got some of that drizzle and light rain. More of the same into tomorrow. We're looking forward to the weekend. I think we still hold on to some clouds early Saturday. Sun comes out by the afternoon. You get a full Sunday of that before the messy weather returns next week, Kayla.
Thank you, Eric. That's News 8 at 6. The CBS Evening News is next. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you at 11.